Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of GearCast Hunter Edition. I am here with the Huntress herself, Kristy Titus. Kristy, how are you, hun?
I'm doing good. Good to be here. Glad to shoot this series, and it's my first match in a long time.
Long time.
This is awesome.
I didn't see you all last year. I totally missed you.
COVID.
And
then it was hunting season. Imagine that. So I got a little busy.
Right?
Yeah.
And I mean, let's be honest. We'd all rather be hunting than shooting matches.
Well, I mean, for me, yeah. There's a lot of guys that might, they like hunting steel just as much as they do animals. So that's good too.
This is true. Absolutely. So this is your first NRL Hunter match.
Yeah.
You came out here. You've been doing videos. You have a promotion going on for your next NRL Hunter match. I mean, you're sponsoring the series, which we really, really appreciate. What our viewers want to know, and I know you talked about it already, but now that you got out here and shot your first Hunter Series match, it's your first day, you still have one more day. How is the rifle set up? What are you using? What did you finally decide to go with? So can we run down the rifle?
Absolutely. So I'm shooting almost factory Ruger precision rifle, chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor to make the power requirement. I have done a couple mods to this rifle. So one of the things I've done is I've installed a aftermarket Timney 2-stage trigger.
Awesome.
Because I wanted to lighten up my trigger press just a little bit, and it's been really, really good for me. The other thing I put on this, because this is an older generation RPR, is I put on a Sawtooth Rifles does an Arca rail that is acceptable to the Ruger handguard. So this gives me that Arca Swiss compatibility, which is awesome for locking into bipods, tripods, and just obviously managing my gear. And then I'm running the SkyPod single extension bipod on the fore end. Nightforce, I've got an ATAC R 7-35 by 56. This is, a super premium optic. So my rifle, optic, and ammo actually shoot much better than I'm capable of repeating. So, and I'm shooting factory ammo. So 6.5 Creedmoor in 140 grain ELD match. Everything on my rifle and system is almost factory, as you'd buy it out of the box.
Nice. Now, with the setup that you're shooting right now and you're shooting your first day, there's been a lot of different potential positions. Have you found that you would change anything about the current setup right now, or is it more about getting used to what you have and making it work for you?
So for me, as far as stage prepping, my gun and trigger and everything, the way I have it set up, it's perfect. It's exactly what I want. I couldn't ask for anything more performance-wise really out of my firearm, because that's not the limiting factor. The limiting factor for me is training. And I think a lot of people that are hunters here match behind an event and they're like, oh yeah, I'm out. I don't want to compete. I don't want to do that. But this really isn't about, competing. There is some top level world-class shooters here, but for me coming in as a shooter, I'm looking at this as I have a couple of aspects that will help me replicate a hunt. So I have a time constraint, I have wind conditions, I have a time constraint with varying shooting positions, and we're going into that blind. So it's really the best way you can replicate what you're going to find in the field from a hunting situation. And then taking what limited items you have in your gear bag and building a position in less than 2 minutes, or around, I try to get my position, like my targets found and everything kind of figured out in 2 minutes, and pressing the trigger at that 2-minute mark. So I think really for this, it's just, for me, gear management, what I want to do for a setup, and then stage evaluation.
Awesome. Okay, so now I know you were super cool about coming back, because you were like almost halfway down the road when I'm like, Kristy, come back, can you help me with this video? So we don't have everything that you used gear-wise here, but do you want to run down just a quick bullet point of what gear you are using?
So for my ballistics, I'm running the Ruger Kestrel 5700, and that's running applied ballistics program, and so I'm able to really get that data, input my muzzle velocity, and then true that data at distance, and adjust any fine-tuning in my BC to match my impacts if I need to do that. And so running that, and I'm running it live. But what I do out here is I check it in the morning, I check it midday, and then I'm running a data card on my arm board. I come up to a stage, range it, and I circle my data, and on here, I've got a 5, a 10, and a 15 mile an hour wind hold. And so that will tell me, okay, well, my target is at 600 yards. My 5 mile an hour wind, full value is 0.6. At 5 miles an hour, full value, 10 miles an hour is 1.2 or 1.7 if it's 15. So I can bracket my wind calls really easily because I'm running a mill system on my optics, so everything's in tens. So it makes the math really fast. So if I have a 5 mile an hour average and I'm feeling it gust, I'm like, ooh, that might be hitting 8 or 10. Well, then I can bracket those wind calls and kind of get a better chance of getting on target. And I wear the same arm board. This arm board, I literally take hunting.
Okay, so awesome. I was going to ask you about that because I've seen, traditionally hunters will tape index card or something of that nature to their stock, or they'll put a little cheat sheet on next to the front of their barrel or whatever. But you're actually running the arm board. Arm board,
and so if a lot of people that watch me online are like, "Hey, she has a playbook on her arm. What is she doing? Playing football?" But for me, what I typically do on a hunt is I check my density, altitude, and input my data once on my arm board card, and then I just roll with the hunt. I don't usually worry about it too much unless I have massive temperature swings or I gain massive amounts of elevation. If I think I'm going to have anything over 2,000 in a density altitude switch, I will recheck or reconfirm my arm board card, or have 2 sets of DA cards. One I might run in the morning, one card I might switch to in the afternoon, and that way, out here I'm shooting, I've got a Crux Ordnance tripod.
Okay.
That's super beefy, beautiful, wonderful tripod to shoot off of out here. It's a little heavier. They do make some lighter weight tripods, so when I'm hunting, what I like to do, as I carry an outdoorsman's tripod, and if I'm on an active stock, I've got the legs deployed and I'm walking, my arm board's here. If I jump an animal and he hits a hillside, I can throw up my tripod, deploy my legs, get my gun on, range it, look at my dope card, and I'm shooting usually within 20 seconds.
Wow, fast. Okay.
It's fast.
That's
you can be fast.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, you have to stop an animal with a grunt or a yell or, whatever. But
I want to hear your grunt. I want to hear your grunt.
No.
I'm just kidding.
But, so that, the tripod training is good. There's a lot of people out here, I'm hearing them talk about, man, I have to shoot standing. There's no way. Most of my shooting's done standing. So when I'm hunting, most of my shots are taken from the standing because it's so much faster. I don't have to worry about clearing brush, clearing rocks. I don't have to worry about trying to get low, deploy bipod legs. If I can run my tripod ready to roll, I am so fast on target. For most hunting, distances, you're going to be steady and you're going to be in that wobble zone of a vital zone usually pretty easily with training and get those first round shots off that really matter.
Awesome. You just went through a ton of knowledge. and I mean, it's like I'm listening to you, break it down, and I'm thinking as a competitive shooter first, where I started, I'm like, okay, I completely understand, I'm following the whole 9 yards, but to a hunter, there's a lot of hunters out there that still don't understand necessarily density, altitude, and all of these things.
It's just basically, how the bullet's going to perform as your temperature changes, or how you actually increase in elevation. And obviously, the thinner the air is, the faster your bullet flies. So
and it makes a difference depending on where you're hunting.
That's exactly right. So if you're hunting in California, where we're at now, our low density altitudes run in 400 feet elevation, and then once it starts screaming at 80 degrees, it's like 2,200 feet.
Right.
Well, that's a big difference in your data, especially at distance. You're talking a tenth or 2 or 3, and that's a hit or a miss on animal size target.
Yeah, I mean that could be a good clean kill, or it could be a wound, or a complete miss.
That's exactly right.
And out here we're trying to teach all about ethics, right? We've all heard the stories of somebody taking some crazy long shot, and then you ask them, "Oh, what were you holding?"
No clue.
5 feet over its back. What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, exactly. They're using a duplex reticle. And that's a great thing. Like, I'm running the Mill C reticle in this Nightforce optic, which everything's in 2/10. So it's super easy. I look at my range card, and if it says I hold, 1.3 on my wind hold, I go over one full line where it says 1, and then I go 2 click marks over, and I line that up, and I'm shooting. It's super easy sight acquisition, and it's very intuitive to use as a reticle. It's fast.
Yeah, it's super fast once you get used to it.
Exactly.
So, all right, now people want to know, we just launched this right before you came up here for this match. You have an awesome sweepstakes going on. I'm super how do I win? I can't win. But tell people about your sweepstakes and how they enter and what they could win.
So we've teamed up with a lot of awesome people. So NRL Hunters first and foremost, Safari Club, Hornady, we've got Allen Company, we've got Cryptech, we've got some great people that are kind of pitching in on this. So someone's going to win an opportunity. You know, we're encouraging women, encouraging kids to sign up under that youth division.
Yes.
So come shoot the NRL Hunter match with me in May in Idaho, and we'll squad together, and then we'll film that for a show for Pursue the Wild, and then in December we're gonna go back, and I'm gonna take you on an epic mule deer hunt in Colorado.
So jealous.
So awesome. So you have to shoot the match to win the hunt, and we're hoping we get lots of entries, and it's a random draw. 1 entry per person. So if you go to my website, go and enter. All you have to do is fill out your email address, follow NRL Hunter on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, and you're entered to win.
Yep. And you come to the match, and Ruger's providing a loaner rifle. Yep. Hornady's providing the ammo.
That's right. Nightforce is providing a loaner optic.
An optic. We'll have all the auxiliary gear, that you may need, binos or, range card holders, whatever. We'll have all that stuff for you. So you literally can know nothing about nothing, but have good firearm safety. You have to have, be safe, right? Have good firearms knowledge, come out and learn to shoot a match and have some fun with some awesome people. Kristy will be there to help kind of coach and guide you along.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
And then go on an epic hunt. That's a dream hunt.
It's an awesome hunt.
You were am I allowed to say where it's at?
It's in Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah, and I hunt there every year. And, I would anticipate that whoever wins is going to get a very old, mature buck. So it'll be really good.
That's awesome, man. You're doing so much for the sport in the hunting community, for the precision rifle competition side of the community, NRL Hunter. Man, we love you.
I
gotta give you a hug.
Don't be afraid. Get down here and shoot. I mean, this is for everyone. We have kids divisions. We have women out here. Come out here, learn to shoot under pressure, learn to shoot what works for you, what's not working for you.
Yes.
And then, like for me, the most valuable thing it's done for me is I can look at a position where I have an animal and what I have to make a shot and almost know instantly, like, hey, man, I got to get closer, or hey, I'm going to belly down, get me prone, and I'm going to make the shot.
You know what your capabilities and comfort zones are.
And your limitations of your equipment and your limitations of you. And if you're shooting, factory stuff like I am, my stuff shoots better than I'm capable of. You don't have to spend $1 million on, you don't have to learn how to reload ammo. You don't have to buy a super high-end rifle. You can come out here and be extremely accurate and shoot with precision and have a great time and learn a ton.
And meet a ton of like-minded individuals. So NRL Hunter, NRL is very community-based. We love doing things together. We hang out, we go to dinner. Yeah. We have beers and tell stories and learn from each other on every aspect.
That's right.
So, and if you have the capabilities, you can do it kind of like Kristy and I did. I came up to the match early and I went out and did some hunting. You're staying out here a little bit late.
And I'm going to go hunting.
So you can learn and then apply it.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to hit this and go pig hunting and just bring some bacon home. I mean, who doesn't like bacon?
Right? Heck yeah, girl. Awesome. Well, Kristy, thank you so much for taking your time to do this with us today. I just can't thank you enough.
Yeah, I know, it's my pleasure, and I really hope the hunting community jumps in all into NRL Hunter and comes out here and shoots.
I do too, and it's going to be an awesome adventure.
Yeah.
So, until next time, guys, keep safe, keep shooting, and we'll see you all at the match. Take care.